sometimes the videos I make might be at risk of seeming totally what the heck, superfluous. But there's a I mean, whose business is it? It's not your business. Don't watch the video if it's superfluous. Actually, you should watch the video. But I make these videos because I have things on my mind and I have to put them out in the world, or I'm gonna go crazy because the world is in bad shape, and I don't, you know, this is like, you know, I don't want to say pissing out of the tent. I don't think that you are harmed for having watched this video, but it's like casting, lines out, sending alien, signals, sending radio signals out, um, in hopes of finding evidence of other intelligent life. That's a little self-aggrandizing, but it's just a metaphor. Um, anyways, also, I don't think I'm going to be able to have clarity in my life unless I voice some of the things that are on my mind. Um, you know, every day we wake up, we have to do something. We have to choose to do something. And it's really hard to do things when you're just in friction with the world, when the world seems um, inhospitable, cold, stupid, um, and just not a good place, not a place where you want to hang out or speak to anybody. That's not a good world. And I have plenty ideas of what I would do if society were better. Um, but those ideas don't matter insofar as society is not receptive to these ideas of mine. And this goes for anybody who has big and out there ideas about what to do with the world. And when I make a video, I get caught and lost in a sort of meta commentary, which is to say, I obsess over the fact that in distributing a message through the web and through the internet, you are a part of, what do we say? The protocols of online discourse. What comes to my mind is, and what I am often distracted by, is what it takes to say something that goes viral. And do you even want virality? Probably not. No, you don't. It depends on the context. If I had, for example, produced a short film or something, I would want it to go viral. Me just sitting down speaking, no, I don't want my face out there. I don't want, I don't need the attention. I don't need people being up in my business. Fortunately, I have nothing to worry about because these videos regularly get like 20 views, um, you know, which is to be expected. I'm just putting them out on a shitty laptop camera. Um, but still, I think about these things. And then it's like, what actually does go viral today? And there's a lot of things that do. But one thing, if you're just like a commentator, it's to say something totally outrageous and offensive. And you cultivate an audience doing that. And we all know people out there who do that now. That's a damaging thing to do for multiple reasons. I don't feel like I need to break it down, but oh my goodness, I spilled a little bit of that. But that's not something that I want to do. I don't want to go out there and just say outrageous stuff that's like taking my life and engulfing it in flames. That's not exactly of interest. I would like to maintain my ability to like do things out in the world and have relationships and friendships with all kinds of different people. I'd like to retain my ability to do that. Nevertheless, I remain something of a pointed commentator, even if I am meandering and unfocused when I make these videos. But I thought, that there's a what can I even say? I mean, a typical theme of mine that I like to fixate upon is the dullness of standardized mass culture. Um, to criticize mass culture, you have to have a particular point that you make. Everything that pops into my mind that I would like to talk about recently runs the risk of being extraordinarily offensive. Not because it's designed to be, but because I have I mean, I just know what I'll say is going to upset some people. And then I start going, like, well, why does that matter? You know? And so I'm in the process of kind of talking myself into gaining some focus insofar as what message I want to export into the world. So you get to be a part of this. And the other thing is, if you ever do something of note in the future, well, people are going to go back and look at my online and digital footprint. And I don't mean to flatter myself by saying that, I will ever matter, but you have to think about this. And every person who interfaces with the web is told some version of this story. They're told, remember, it lasts forever. So it doesn't even need to be, something on par with celebrity or something like that. But if you, or of any note, if you're even applying to a job and things like that, people go back. They might look. They might find something. But if you do something that ever is picked up, or if you have a desire to transform the world in a particular way, should you even come close to succeeding it, you might attract some attention, and people will go back and look for it for you and the things you've said, and they'll try to grill you and ruin your life or something. And that's a risk that we have to bear in mind. And it's not so difficult. I know people who have become um, maybe not famous, but have been picked up by prominent media outlets. They have wound up in them. And so that's always a risk. That's something it's not that hard to wind up in a situation like that. It's really not. Now, if you want to change culture in the world, I don't think that's a super ambitious thing. It's just changing it in some regard. It doesn't mean you you become the global sovereign or something like that. But if you want to change it in some capacity, um, I feel like a tendency in this era is to think that that change has to be uh, political. It has to show up in politics. That's an attractive way to envision how one should change the world and stuff like that. My understanding of politics, the more I watch politics, is that politics is terrible, and developed personal ideas don't survive politics. If you get into politics, you become a party person. You don't become a human being anymore. And that's a whole. I don't know if I want to make this video. I don't know if I want to make that the focus of this video, but that's something to bear in mind. But and then the result is even people who are not political, technically, like who are not politicians, that would be creators, playwrights, TV writers, journalists, YouTubers, which I am not. I'm not a YouTuber. Just like, I'm not a rapper. I'm not a YouTuber. Um, Nevertheless, the influence they have, it is still like modified by the political. It's like I'm a politician living a separate life. I'm going to use my platform the same way a politician might use his or her platform. Um, so I don't know, but I just don't. I just dislike culture today. I wish more people read. Look, I have here a copy of George Bernard Shaw. This is volume 5 of his complete plays with prefaces. I've got the whole collection of these little things. And look how cool it is. Look at the art inside, these little doodles of his characters. That's awesome. What if you could, on the street, find somebody who has read a George Bernard Shaw play who's under the age of 40? It's impossible. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen because everybody looks at slop. It's a slop world. It's a slop. It's a slop world. It's a slop fest that we live in. And I get bored with it, and I don't know what to do, and I have pent up energy, and I make these videos. And I don't think I'm the most boring or speaker in the world, but I certainly have like nothing to say. And then if I were to, for example, inflect off of politics and news and culture and stuff, I could do that. A lot of people do that. A lot of people have online presences. They read a news article and then they say, They just give their thoughts on it. Can you believe Donald Trump is doing this? Donald Trump is threatening to invoke the Insurrection Act. This is textbook fascism. This is textbook. And they make a lot of money doing that. Uh, but I don't want to do that. And if you take a political angle, everybody hates you. And every view that you export has to be nationalized at the least, or it's internationalized. So if you make a point and say, I believe in this, now it's everybody's problem. They have to be like, well, this doesn't. If you say, like, man, my favorite thing about the winter time is that the weather is, a little cooler than it normally is. And so I can go out and, you know, I, I'm not so hot, but it's still like sandal weather. I can wear my sandals. And that's because you live in a region where it's so hot all the time that even during the winter, say you live in the Bahamas or something, it's not that it's not that cold. It's just a little bit cooler. I'm not 100% sure. I've never been to the Bahamas. I think it's still, a part of the northern hemisphere, so it wouldn't be like it's getting hotter during the winter. If I'm wrong on that, I'm going to seem like a total cretin. But and then somebody who lives in Maine is like, this is ridiculous. What do you mean? It's only a little bit cooler during the winter. It's actually cold as fuck during the winter and it's icy. You are an idiot. You're an idiot, sir. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you say that sick shit? So that's the kind of world we're in. If you have a particular view that works for you, it's not very controversial in your own life. As soon as you put that online, it's controversial. People have a problem with it for sure. Um, that's the world we live in. Now that's something inane that I brought up, something rather benign. But what about viewpoints that are a little spicier than that, a little more thorough, a little bit, there's more zest behind the idea, more passion. Maybe they are more political. Then you're really in trouble. And we just live in that. And I don't even want to master it. I don't want to master it. I don't want to be mindful of that. I don't want to be somebody who's well socialized into all of these particular nuances about American life. I'd rather just be who I would like to be. That's it. I don't want to take responsibility for the world. The world is a mess. The world is as angry as it gets. And I don't want to add a little bit more anger. So, well, wait, that doesn't work with the train of thought. I don't want to even think about or worry about not introducing more anger. I would rather just live my own life. There, I've salvaged the train of thought and made it coherent. Um, Look, I've got a book on Oscar Wilde, His Life and Confessions by Frank Harris. I haven't had time to read it. It's an old book. See that? It looks old. You see? You see that? Complete and unexpurgated. That's the problem with life today, is our thoughts can't be complete and unexpurgated.